Hey guys, it's Sherry Vegas and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be doing some candle making. I've got a new candle making kit and I thought we would try something really fun and make confetti themed candles using a few different items to achieve this. Okay, so the supplies that you're going to need are obviously like the containers that you're going to use. I've got some glass jars. I've gone for simple ones just because the decoration we're going to be adding is going to be like the feature, so I didn't want to kind of go for any jar that was busy. I have got some whole bunch of different color candle wax dyes. So these are all, I bought like a sample pack so that way I can try and find out what colors I like. These are all listed in my Amazon store below, but yeah, you get a good like size packet, 24 colors, so we're going to be using those today. And then I thought for this themed type of candle, it would be cool to get some matching fragrances, so I bought a set of 6, and then these are all premium fragrances, and you get like cupcake, cotton candy, marshmallow, pink lemonade, bubblegum, and cola, and I thought they're going to suit really well with these confetti themed candles. Then some sprinkles, obviously they're my confetti for one of the candles. I've got some bio glitter, so I've got 3 different colors in that. So this is a completely plastic free glitter. It's made from wood pulp, so it's perfectly fine to put into candles, and if it burns, it's not burning any plastic. And they're all from Makeup Weapons. Some coconut oil, or you could use like rice malt syrup, just something to help adhere our confetti to it. And then I've gotten a brand new pack of waxes. So I have got this candle making kit because I ran out of all of my waxes and wicks and stuff, so I thought it'd probably be best just to buy it in bulk. So I've got wick stickers, a little shovel for the wax. It comes with a few different types of wicks, some wick clips, some colors, all of that. And then I got this massive thing of wax. So we're going to be using this wax today, and it is a soy blend wax, and we've got this little DIY candle kit that we're going to be testing out, but most of this stuff is available on my Amazon store. So once you've got all of this, we can get started. So for this jar size, I find what works best is if I just do 2 scoops of my wax, just like this, just up to there, and then once that melts down, it actually melts down to the perfect amount for your container size. So obviously you've got to use the container that you're going to be pouring it into to do the scooping. Now because I'm doing 3 candles, that means I need to have 6 scoops in total. The candle wax that I am using today is a soy-based candle wax, and this one has been designed for melting into containers. There are different candle waxes depending on the purpose, but because I'm using containers, this one's a really good one to use. And then I'm just going to put this on my double boiler, which means I'm going to have a pot underneath with some water, and then I'm going to place this on top. It just lets me control the temperature a bit more and make sure it rises up to heat really slowly and not really fast. So I've got a bit of control with that. So while we wait for the wax to melt, in the kit you get 3 different size wicks, and your wick size depends on your container size, so I'm just going to go with the small ones today. If you are going to be starting to make candles for like the sake to sell and manufacture, you do need to test out your candle size jars with your wicks, and make sure you get the ones that have the best burn time for the size of your candles. So because these are small, I don't want a really big wick because it's going to burn through the wax too fast. So these hopefully are going to be a really good size, and this is going to be my little test for them. So this kit is actually really good. It comes with the little wick stickers. These are just going to hold down the wicks into place, and it also comes with a straw, which you might think is a funny thing to come with, but it makes it easier to push in and get center than if you're trying to do it and get in your hand, especially if you've got like a container that's higher up and it's harder to get your hand in. A straw is actually really helpful for that. So I'm just going to attach all of my little sticky dots onto the bottom of my wicks. and then stick it in my straw, peel off the second sticky part, and then just place it in. And then push it down. Basically, you can use whatever you like to add a bit of stickiness. So rice malt, sugar syrup, I've got some like rose water spirit, which is designed for cakes, coconut oil. It's kind of a personal preference. All we're doing is we just want to make this tacky enough that when we add our bio glitter or our sprinkles or our little colors into it, that it will stick to the edges and not go into the center. So whatever works best and what you find. So I'm gonna actually try the cake decorating stuff, because this is meant to hold on like shimmers and stuff, for the bio glitter one, and then maybe the coconut oil one I'm gonna try when I use something a little bit bigger. So we'll give them a go. And I'm just going to use a bit of paper towel. If you had a little pastry brush, that would be handy as well. And I'm just going to be covering the inside. Now, you don't want to be using a glue to do this, because you're going to be lighting these candles and they're going to be burning. So if you use a glue, it might actually be toxic to burn. So your sugar waters, sugar syrups are actually really handy for this, because they're perfectly fine. That when your candle does start to melt down, it's not going to affect you, and you're not going to have any like adverse reactions to having like burning glues. And then I think I'm just going to tip a little in, and I'm going to do this one really randomly. And then some of the purple. And then I'm going to put my paper towel over the top and shake it. And of course, because I'm working with glitter, this is going to be an absolute mess. And I think that's looking really nice from the outside. I kind of like the big chunk of purple and pink and then the gold. I think that looks really pretty from the outside. And now it's time to clean up my mess and then get started on the next one. Okay guys, so it's time to do the sprinkles one. So I've just got a bit of coconut, and I'm going to be doing this and coating it all over my jar, just like this. Just tilting my jar and adding in my sprinkles. I don't think the rose water would work for this because the sprinkles are heavy. So I think the coconut oil actually does work really nice. I definitely think rice malt syrup or sugar syrup would be probably like the best option. I just don't have any in my house. I thought I did, but I don't. Because that's sticky, and like sticky stuff just holds really well. Okay, so for this last one, I'm going to try to flake these color wax dyes, which normally you would put into the wax, melt it through, and that's how you would color your candle. But I thought if I could flake it and make it kind of the same size as my confetti, as my sprinkles, so that I could do probably the same effect, and then hopefully when I add the wax in, I get some like cool bleeding tie-dye effects. Or even if it stays the same, hopefully then when you burn it, the wax like dye colors on the outside as the candle wax burns starts to like tie-dye the candle. I have no clue whether this is actually going to work. I'm just gonna see. It's an idea I've got in my head. I'm just gonna see if it's gonna work. So I've got the lime green, the aquamarine, the lilac, and the rose gold. Because these are like the first time I'm using this brand. I have no idea what colors these will even look like once they're melted down. But it's a bit of an experiment, so we'll just go with it. I've just got a little peeler, and I'm just going to see if I can just peel it and create some flakes with it. Otherwise, if that doesn't work, I might just start using like a knife and chopping it into little chunks. Just got my coconut wax in there again, and just going to start sprinkling. Just like that. So let's hopefully, fingers crossed, that this works and turns into a really cool tie-dye when the candle melts. Okay guys, so I've split my wax into 2 parts and I've let it cool down to the correct amount to add in my essences. I decided out of the pack, and the pack's got some really cool flavored essences, I decided I wanted to do pink lemonade and cupcake. So I'm going to be doing the cupcake one obviously for the sprinkled jar, because I think that's going to suit really well, and then the pink lemonade for the 2 others. If I wanted to, I could split this up into 3 and do 3 different essences, but I just decided I'm going to do 2. So you want around 5 to 10% essence to wax. So if you have something of like 100 mils of wax, then you would want to have 5 mils to 10 mils of essence. So that's just helpful. That's also why I put these in measuring containers, just so I can see how much I've got. And if you don't know, you can actually take these off, because when I go to drip that, it's just going to drip and it's going to take me forever to get enough essence out doing it like that. So you can actually just remove the little plastic piece like that. And then it's a lot easier to pour out the correct amount of essence. And then I'm going to add that into my wax. And then I'm just going to get a new one of these, because obviously there's going to be some essence left in and I don't want to mix up the flavors. And then I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm obviously going to need less because there's less wax in this one. And then I'm just going to stir. You want to mix for about 2 to 3 minutes. You want to make sure that your essence really combines into your wax before you pour it, and make sure that every bit of wax has a little bit of flavoring through it. And if you want a really complete guide to candle making, I do have a beginner's guide to that, where I explain everything in more detail. So this is the pink lemonade flavor, and the wax is at the right temperature to pour it. If you're unsure about what temperature you need to pour your wax, it will say on the wax that you buy, because different brands and different types of wax have different pouring temperatures. It's actually all adhered pretty good along the edges. I do have a few bits that have just come off from the sides, or probably were just floating around loose, but otherwise than that, it has stayed pretty nicely along the edges. And a little bit of glitter has come off along the top, but when that sets, it's actually going to look really pretty. And the majority of the glitter is still along the edge. So that is the good thing about having to wait for your wax to cool down a little bit before pouring it, is that you're not going to have everything come off the side. And then just to make sure that my wicks stay center, these little wick holders come in the little kit. And you can just move them into place and get them in center. So the last step to do with your confetti candles is just to grab a pair of scissors and cut the wick to length. I normally just like to cut it to like the top of the edge of my jar, and you just want to chop them off like that. Pretty simple. So here are all 3 candles. Now they've set. They've all turned out exactly how I wanted them to turn out. So I've got my sprinkle one here, which is super cute, and you could obviously use whatever color sprinkles you've got on board. So these ones are like little fancy pastel ones, but you could obviously go like traditional bright colors. I think this one is my favorite because it actually genuinely looks like confetti in a candle. I cannot wait to burn this, so I'll let you know, like I'll update on my stories on Instagram, letting you know if when you burn it, whether the like colors blend in and start to do stuff, whether the heat from the candle is hot enough to actually start to melt all of the candle wax little flakes. So I'm very excited to burn this one. It might not work, it might be complete and utter failure, but it still looks like a confetti candle. And then the bio glitter one. So this one is so beautiful, and obviously like you could use whatever bio glitters, big chunky pieces, or like this one's all fine, and you could try to even do it in like a pattern if you wanted to. I kind of like how there's like a big chunk of purple, that like pink, purple, gold. I feel like it kind of looks like a glitter explosion. So I'm really happy with all of my different themed like confetti candles. I think they've all got like a different take on the idea. Let me know in the comments too, what is your favorite style out of all three of the confetti themed candles? And also, I just wanted to thank everyone for watching. If you're new to my channel, why not subscribe? I do all sorts of art, craft and DIY videos every single week, and especially resin and candle making are my like two favorite topics to do at the moment. And don't forget to hit the notification bell if you are new, so that way you get notified every single time I upload a video to YouTube, and that way you don't miss out on every week's upload. And if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. That lets YouTube know to show this video to more people. And thank you guys for watching, and I will make sure that I let you know what happens to this. I'll upload a little video on my stories on Instagram. So thank you guys so much.